Hi, I'm Bryn. I decided to do this video for people who may be facing having to get a spinal cord stimulator done. A little bit about myself. I'm 39 years old. I have 3 kids. In the past, I've played basketball, fought fires, and overall was relatively healthy. About 4 years ago, I started experiencing where I started to have all over body pain. It started out like an achiness that you would have when you have the flu, but it slowly progressed. There were times where I always had the achiness where it felt like it was down in my bones, but then there were times where it would get worse, where it's like my muscles, my bones would hurt, my muscles would hurt. Somebody just putting their hand touching my arm would cause like these pins and needles pain. I went to the doctor, asked him about it, explained what I was having. He ran tests. He tested for Lyme disease. That came back negative. Tested for some other things, and everything came back negative. So he then resorted to I needed to lose weight. Over the past 4 years, the pain has increased. It's gotten worse. It's gone from being pain in my bones and that achiness to being where I walk with a limp because I have pain going down my left leg all the time. My day-to-day life, my pain level is at a level of 6 or 7, usually on the side of 7. So after putting up with this for 3 years and, asking my doctor every time I went in, I'm still having this pain. I'm still having this pain. Him telling me to lose weight. I finally went into my doctor about a little less than a year ago and said to him, look, there's something going on. I advocated for myself. I said, there's something going on. He told me again that it's, I need to lose weight. That'll probably help with a lot of my problems. And I said that was fine. I would do that. I'd try to lose weight, but we need to come at this from another direction as well because it's something more than just my weight. So my doctor sent me to a rheumatologist. The rheumatologist did tests, took x-rays, and found that I have arthritis in my knees and my ankles, my wrists, my knuckles, the joints that take a lot of wear and tear. I used to fight fires. I used to play basketball. I, wore turnout gear. I was very active. So the fact that I have arthritis didn't really surprise me. But in the x-rays that he took of my back and neck, he also found that I have discs that are, how he described it, 6 of them that were non-existent and a 7th one that was barely there. The discs are in my neck, 2 in my neck, 2 in my mid-back, and 2 at the very base of my spine, and then the 3rd that is barely there is also at the base of my spine. He directed me to an orthopedic surgeon. They took some more x-rays, found that yes, my discs are degenerating, and they followed the normal routine of treating that. First step was asking if I went to a chiropractor. I've gone to chiropractors in the past for headaches. In the past 4 years I've gone to chiropractors. It never really helped with the pain, overall body pain. It did help with headaches a little bit, but otherwise it didn't really help. So they started me on physical therapy. The doctor said, try it for 2 weeks, see how it goes. If it's not helping, give him a call. And he would schedule me for the MRI. I did 2.5 weeks of going to the physical therapy for 3 times a week. I would go into physical therapy with a pain level of 7. I would leave with a pain level of 9, and the next day I could barely walk. So I called the doctor up. Doctor's like, okay, we'll get you scheduled for the MRI. Doctor's office had to kind of battle it out with the insurance company a bit because the insurance company wanted me to do 6 more weeks of physical therapy, which there was no way that I could do it. It wasn't helping me at all. It was making me worse. So the doctor's office got the MRI scheduled, approved and scheduled. I got that done. And they found that, yes, indeed, the discs are degenerating, which they actually said I have degenerative disc disease, which is genetic. From there, we attempted a epidural steroid injection, which is where they go into the spine and they inject like an anti-inflammatory steroid, whatever, in there in hopes that that will calm down whatever's going on. For me, it lasted, I got it done on a Friday. The next day, the Saturday, I was able to walk normal. I had a pain level of 1. I was really hopeful that this was going to help. And it's like, oh, really good response that first day. Second day, I was in more pain. I kind of figured that I probably overdid it that Saturday because I did feel good. But progressively over the next 2 weeks, the pain level didn't go away. It's kept coming, kept getting worse. 2 weeks to the day of the spinal cord stimulator, 2 weeks to the day of the epidural, I had pain going down my left leg again, like I had nothing done. And that pain never went away again. So then the next step was discussing the idea of a spinal cord stimulator. Then the spinal cord stimulator, very layman's terms, if you've ever had like spinal stim or muscle stim at a chiropractor or physical therapy, if you had a TENS unit on, that's basically the same concept, except these electrodes go into the spinal cord and up into the back. So instead of having to go through all the body tissue, the flub, the muscle, whatever, this is right there at the source. And the idea behind it is that it kind of scrambles the pain signals so that you don't have the pain. I researched it. I looked on videos. I did find one that was really useful to me, but I figured with me doing this recording, I figured that I would give my experience. So maybe it would help somebody else. In addition to the other things that I named, they do have me on several different medications. One is for nerve pain, nerve damage, nerve pain. Another one's for inflammation, and the other one's for pain. So I take those on a regular basis. They don't really give me that much relief, but one thing that I found as this got worse, I will get sensations in my legs where my legs will feel extremely, extremely heavy, like they're in cement. And I will get this numb, painful feeling going down my legs that I can't walk. Whenever I get the sensation, I have to stop what I'm doing. I have to stop and I have to stand or sit down until this feeling goes away. So it's a really sucky feeling. One of the medications I'm on does help with that a little bit, but I still do get that sensation. So the spinal cord trial, the spinal cord stimulator is an actual implant. It's like a little battery pack that they put inside of you. But the trial is a week long of trying it out, seeing if it's going to be beneficial or not. Instead of going for the full-fledged spinal cord stimulator implant, you do this for a week and you get to figure out, hey, this works and let's go for it. Or no, this sucks and it didn't do anything and we're not putting it in my body. Some of the concerns that I have, 2 of them are very superficial concerns. During the trial, they tape the unit to you, so you're not able to get showers. So for a week, I have to bird bath it, which isn't a big deal except for my hair. I deal with the public at my job, and I'm taking pointers on what I can do to try to keep my hair not looking like a greasy dirt ball. But my bigger concern is that, what happens if this doesn't work? I'm not really sure what the next step is if this doesn't work. They already said they won't, they can't do surgery right now because they can't pinpoint exactly which disc is causing the nerves to be pinched, which disc is causing the pain. So if they would do the surgery, it would be going in blind and a likelihood that it could make it worse. So that's my biggest concern about the actual stimulator is what if it doesn't work? I do have really high hopes though, because the TENS unit that I have does help a little bit. And I'm hoping that this will help even more because it'll actually be in the spine. It'll actually be where it needs to be, putting the signals into that specific area opposed to having to go through my skin and everything to get to it. The stimulator that they're putting in me is actually a dual stimulator where it's high voltage, not high voltage, high frequency and low frequency. The high frequency, you don't feel anything. It just does what it needs to do. The low frequency is more similar to what you get in a doctor's office where you feel that like little bzz, bzz, bzz feeling. But this one does both, and they both treat two different things, so I'm hoping that this is going to be more successful because it's got both of them going on in there. So I do get this trial. I start the trial a little over a week from today, and my goal is to do a video every day, the day I get the spinal cord stimulator trial in, all the way up to the day that I get it taken out. And hopefully, if you're watching this video, you'll find stuff, things that I'm experiencing, you experience, or, knowing that there's someone else out there that has the same issues or similar issues or facing the same concerns. I know that was something that I found really helpful when I was researching it, was to hear other people's experiences with it. But feel free to comment below with any questions that you might have. I'm not a doctor. I'm only giving you my perspective of it. But if you have a question that like, well, what did you experience with this, or what did that I might not have addressed, feel free to comment below, and I will either do another video and update, or I will answer your comment. But thank you for watching, and if you're facing the same thing I am, good luck.